Smart English podcast. I have a confession to make, and I need you to not be impressed. I am a professional faker. I've been faking things my whole life, and I'm very good at it.
The least humble confession I've ever heard. Faking what exactly? Taxes? Cooking? Being nice to me?
All of the above. But the real masterpiece? 6 months ago, I sat through a 40-minute meeting about vertical integration of supply chains, and I understood maybe 4 words of it. I nodded at the right moments, said interesting when people paused, and took notes that were pure decoration.
That's not faking, Emma. That's survival. Everyone does that. The question is, did you get caught?
Never. I even got asked for my opinion at the end, and I said, I think we need to be careful about the timing, the most meaningless sentence in business English. They loved it.
Okay, I don't believe you. You're bluffing about bluffing. Prove it right now. I'll invent a job you know nothing about, and you bluff for 1 minute. Your job is professional honey sommelier.
Honey sommelier? That's a real job? People get paid for tasting honey?
Honey sommelier. Go. Describe it like you've done it for years.
A honey sommelier. Right, of course. The key, obviously, is terroir. The flowers, the region, the season. A good honey tells you where it was born. Acacia is delicate. Heather is bold. And if you taste a hint of smoke, you're near a pine forest. Warm it slightly before tasting. Never microwave it. That's amateur hour.
That was beautiful. You invented 3 facts about honey in 10 seconds, and honestly, I'm half convinced you actually are a honey sommelier, which is exactly the problem we should talk about today.
And that's our topic. Hey, English learners, welcome back. I'm Emma, this is Jake. And no, I've never touched a honey sommelier certificate. Today we're talking about feeling like an imposter. That voice that says you don't belong, you're not good enough, and any minute now, everyone will find out.
And we'll share 2 very personal stories, the kind we usually keep quiet, argue about whether the feeling is ever useful, and give you the tools that work. Plus a game, obviously.
So first, what even is this feeling? Because it has a name now, imposter syndrome. And if you felt it, you're in excellent company. It shows up in something like 70% of people at some point.
Imposter syndrome. The persistent feeling that you don't deserve your success, that you've fooled everyone, and that you'll be exposed any second. It's the gap between how you see yourself and how the world sees you. And the strangest part? It hits the most capable people hardest.
Why the most capable? That seems backwards.
Because the more you know, the more you can see what you don't know. A beginner doesn't feel like an imposter. They know they're learning. It's the expert, surrounded by the map of their ignorance, who feels like a fraud.
That's genuinely unsettling. Okay, you owe me a story. The promotion, the one you've been avoiding.
Right. 3 years ago, I got promoted to lead the whole team at 32, the youngest ever. And my first thought wasn't, wow, it was, they've made a terrible mistake. I spent my first month waiting for someone to tap me on the shoulder. Sorry, we meant the other Jake.
The other Jake? And what did you do during that month? Please tell me you didn't just sit there in terror.
Worse. I overworked. I sent emails at midnight to look busy. I wrote reports no one asked for. I was so scared of being exposed that I made myself look like the most anxious employee in the building, which, ironically, is not what a leader should look like.
So what cracked it? What made the feeling quiet down?
A small moment, actually. My boss, who'd seen hundreds of people in my chair, pulled me aside. You're doing fine. I can tell you think you're not ready, and that's exactly why you are ready. And I said the most honest thing of my career. What if they find out I don't know what I'm doing? She laughed, kindly, and said, Jake, everyone here is figuring it out. The ones who worry about it are the ones I trust.
The ones who worry about it are the ones I trust. I need that framed. So, did the feeling disappear?
No, and that's the part nobody tells you. It got quieter, visits less often, but it still shows up before big meetings, before reviews, before board presentations. I've just stopped letting it drive. The feeling didn't leave. I stopped obeying it.
Okay, my turn. And mine is the language version, so I suspect half our listeners will recognize it instantly.
2 years ago, I had to give a talk in English at an international conference in front of 400 people. And I didn't feel nervous about the talk. I felt nervous about being a fake.
A fake in what sense? You speak English beautifully.
Tell that to my brain. In my head, I was a fraud. I'd fooled the organizers, and any second someone would stand up and say, "Wait, she's not one of us. Her accent is off. She's not a native speaker." I rehearsed that humiliation every night for a week.
And what happened at the actual talk?
It went well, really well. People laughed, asked questions, came up afterwards. And here's the cruel twist. The whole time, part of my brain insisted it was a fluke, that they were being polite. 400 people applauding, and the voice didn't care.
And that's the honest truth we need to say out loud. You can't argue your way out of imposter syndrome with compliments. The voice isn't listening to logic. It's a fear. And fears don't answer to spreadsheets of evidence.
So where does it come from in the first place? Because it doesn't feel random. It feels specific, like it's about me.
It's a mix. Part is personality. Perfectionists are more prone because their standards are unmeetable. Part is family. If you grew up praised for results rather than effort, you learn your worth as a performance. And part is environment. Put a capable person in a room of people who look like they know more, and the feeling switches on like a light.
And there's a lovely irony. The opposite has a name too, the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with little skill are often wildly confident because they can't see their own gaps. And people with real skill are often the most doubtful because they can see every gap clearly.
So the guy who's sure he's a genius is usually the fraud, and the woman who's sure she's a fraud is usually the genius. The feeling isn't just unreliable, it's actively backwards.
The feeling is backwards. That's the most useful sentence we've said all day. But, and here's where I want to push back, Jake. I don't think the feeling is always wrong.
Ooh, defending the imposter voice? That's a hot take. Go on.
Sometimes the feeling is a signal. If you're genuinely out of your depth, new job, new skill, new country, the discomfort is information, not delusion. You are behind. And fake it till you make it can become fake it and never learn if you're not careful. The feeling is only useful if it makes you grow.
Okay, that's fair. There's a difference between an imposter feeling and a real skills gap. But here's my pushback on your pushback. Most people use "I'm genuinely not ready" as an excuse to never try. The honest move isn't wait until you feel ready, it's feel unready and go anyway.
Feel unready and go anyway. The feeling is real, and so is the step. You don't have to silence the voice to walk forward. You just have to stop letting it drive.
And that's the realistic insight we keep landing on. The goal was never to feel like you belong. The goal is to act like you belong while you're still growing. Belonging isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a decision you make in the room.
Belonging is a decision, not a feeling. So let's get practical. What actually helps? Because just be confident is the most useless advice in existence.
Tool 1. Name it. When the voice says, "You're a fraud," say it back. Ah, that's the imposter talking. Naming it separates you from it. It's a visitor, not your identity. Tool 2. Check the evidence. Write down 3 things you've actually done that prove you belong. Not feelings, facts.
And tool 3, my favorite, the committee. Imagine a room full of people who believe in you, your mentor, your best friend, the colleague you respect most. When the voice says you're faking it, ask, what would the committee say? It's a way of borrowing other people's eyes.
And tool 4, talk about it. The moment you say, "I feel like a fraud here," out loud, the feeling shrinks. It's the secret that loses its power when shared. Almost every time, the other person says, "Me too."
Me too. The magic phrase. And one more sign, the imposter's favorite word, luck. I only got the job because I was lucky. They hand success to luck and take full ownership of failure.
And the reverse, they credit others for their wins and blame themselves for every loss. A tilted scoreboard. The fix is simple. When you catch yourself saying, "I was lucky," add, "and I was prepared." Luck loves preparation.
Luck loves preparation. That's going in the notebook. And one more tool, the 5-minute rule. When the imposter voice is loudest, before a meeting, a talk, a test, give it 5 minutes. I'm allowed to feel like a fraud for 5 minutes. And when the 5 minutes are up, you go in anyway. It's permission with a timer.
Permission with a timer. I love that. The feeling gets its moment, and then it has to get out of the way.
Okay, let's bring this home for our learners, because if anyone knows the imposter voice, it's a language learner.
Oh, the language version is the loudest one there is. I'm not a real English speaker yet. My level is too low. Native speakers must think I'm stupid. I've heard it from learners who can hold a 2-hour conversation without a problem. Learners whose English is already better than most native speakers' grammar.
And there's a specific trap for learners, the real speaker myth. You think there's a line. Before it, you're a learner, faking it. After it, you're legitimate. But that line doesn't exist. Every fluent speaker you admire is still a learner, still meeting new words, still making mistakes.
Exactly. Fluency isn't a finish line, it's a direction. And the learners who feel like imposters are usually the ones who care most about doing it right. The voice is a sign of investment, not fraud.
And there's a beautiful trick. Use the voice as fuel. They'll find out my English is not perfect. Fine. Then make it closer to perfect, one conversation at a time. The fear of exposure is the best study motivator in the world if you let it push instead of freeze you.
Let it push, not freeze. And here's the release valve. Nobody is auditing your English. Native speakers are not standing by with checklists waiting to expose you. They're just trying to understand you. And when they do, they've forgotten the grammar before the sentence ends.
And one more trap for learners, the comparison trap. You compare your day 1 with someone else's year 10. You hear a fluent speaker and think, I'll never sound like that, forgetting they started where you are, one embarrassing sentence at a time.
The only fair comparison is with yourself from 6 months ago. And if you're listening today, that version of you from 6 months ago would be amazed at where you are now. You're not behind, you're exactly on time. Your own time.
You're exactly on time. Your own time. That's a sentence I wish someone had said to me before that conference. Okay, I think we've earned the game. It's called fraud or fact. I'll describe a situation where someone feels like an imposter, and you tell me, is the feeling a fraud or is the situation a fact? Is the voice lying or is it pointing at something real?
The imposter voice on trial. I love it. Give me the first case.
Case 1. A surgeon, 20 years of experience, who still feels nervous before every operation and wonders if she's really good enough.
Fraud. The feeling is a fraud. 20 years of evidence says she's excellent. The nervousness is care, not incompetence. The surgeons who never doubt themselves are the dangerous ones.
Case 2. A student, 1 month into a programming course, surrounded by classmates who seem to know everything. He's sure he's the only one who's lost.
That one's a fraud too, but a group one. Everyone in that room is lost. The ones who look confident are faking it, just like Emma in the supply chain meeting. He's comparing his behind the scenes with their highlight reel.
And case 3, the tricky one, a new manager, promoted last month, who genuinely doesn't know the company's systems yet and feels like a fraud every time someone asks her a question she can't answer.
That's fact. The situation is real. She is out of her depth. But here's the twist. Being new isn't being a fraud. Fraud is pretending you know. She's not pretending. She's learning in public. That's not imposter syndrome. That's a job.
So the test is, are you pretending or are you learning? Fraud pretends. Learning is honest. And that's the difference the voice can't see.
The voice can't tell them apart, but you can. Ask yourself, have I been pretending or have I been growing? If you've been growing, the feeling is a fraud. If you've been pretending, good news. You can stop today and start learning.
Okay, I think we've earned the nerdy bit. Are you ready to slow down and do word tour?
Always ready. It's word tour time, where we take the words that actually showed up in our conversation and give them a proper home. Emma, you start us off.
Word 1, imposter syndrome. It means the persistent feeling that you don't deserve your success and that you'll be exposed as a fraud.
Example, she has a doctorate and 2 books, and she still struggles with imposter syndrome.
And my example, imposter syndrome hit him hardest right after the promotion, the moment he got what he wanted. Word 2 from me, to bluff.
To bluff, to pretend to know or have something you don't, to mislead by confidence. Example, I bluffed my way through the interview. They never tested the skill I claimed.
And mine, he can bluff for about 10 seconds before his face gives him away. Word 3, to wing it.
To wing it, to do something without preparation, improvising as you go. Example, I hadn't prepared the presentation, I just winged it.
And mine, she winged the whole speech, and somehow it was the best one. Word 4, to fake it till you make it.
To fake it till you make it. To act confident and capable until you actually become so. Example, my first month as manager, I was faking it till I made it.
And mine, fake it till you make it works, as long as you're actually practicing underneath. The phrase has a warning hidden inside. The faking has to be a bridge, not a home. Word 5, the last one, to be out of your depth.
To be out of your depth. To be in a situation that's too difficult for your current level. Example, I felt completely out of my depth at the strategy meeting.
And mine, she was out of her depth for the first month, and then she wasn't. It's a moment, not an identity. And that closes the tour, unless you want to go straight into Say It Better, which I know you do.
I do. Say it better. Plain sentences get the upgrade they deserve. First, I feel like I'm not good enough for this job. That's honest, but vague. Say it better. I feel like an imposter. Why? It's the recognized phrase for the exact feeling. It names the syndrome, and naming it is the first step to managing it.
Second, I did the presentation without much preparation. Fine, but wordy. Say it better, I completely winged it. 2 words replace 9, and it's exactly what native speakers say. Third, I pretended to know the answer.
I bluffed my way through it. It's vivid. You can picture the confidence covering the gaps, and it owns the moment honestly. Fourth, I don't know enough for this.
Say it better, I'm out of my depth here. It's the natural idiom, and it's temporary, which is comforting. You're not good enough. You're just deeper than your experience. Yet. Fifth, the last one, I'm learning while I do this.
I'm faking it till I make it. It's honest, idiomatic, and the most human sentence in business English. 5 upgrades and suddenly you can talk about faking it like a pro. And that's a perfect bridge to the closing. We promise to say what we're taking with us. Jake, you first.
I'm taking belonging is a decision, not a feeling. Next time the voice says I don't belong in the room, I'll remind myself, I decided to be here and I'm choosing to stay. And I'm taking my boss's sentence. The ones who worry about it are the ones I trust.
And I'm taking the feeling is backwards. When the voice says I'm a fraud, I'll remember the Dunning-Kruger paradox. The people who doubt the most are often the ones who know the most. And I'm taking the 5-minute rule with me into every big room this year.
And hey, if this episode helped you recognize your own imposter voice, share it with someone who needs it. The secret loses its power when it's shared. And if you want us in your ears every week, the subscribe button is right there. No bluffing. We genuinely love to have you.
No bluffing. And to everyone listening, that voice that says you're a fraud, it's not a verdict. It's a visitor. You don't have to argue with it, and you don't have to obey it. You just have to stop letting it drive.
And if you're learning English, you are not a fake English speaker. You are a real one, in progress. Every sentence you say in English is proof you're not pretending. You're practicing. And practicing is the opposite of fraud.
Practicing is the opposite of fraud. That's the line I'm taking home. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Feel the fear, carry the doubt, and walk in anyway. That's what everyone else in the room is doing, including the ones who look calm.
And the ones who look calm are usually faking it, just like Emma with the honey. Remember, the honey sommelier story was a bluff, and you believed it for a full 10 seconds.
And now I'm tempted to actually become one just to complete the con. But no, the con is over. Take care, keep learning, keep speaking, and may your imposter voice be quiet enough to hear the applause.
And may you always know the difference between bluffing and growing. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone, and thank you for being here. You're the reason we keep talking.
And remember, the people you admire, they've felt it too. Every single one of them has stood in a room thinking they're going to find out. They found out, nothing happened, and they stayed. You will too. See you next time.
See you next time. And one last thought. The next time the imposter voice whispers, "You don't belong here," whisper back, "I'm not here to belong. I'm here to grow."
I'm not here to belong. I'm here to grow. That's the whole episode in 10 words. Take care, everyone. And remember, the only real fraud is the person who never tries. Everything else is just learning in public. Bye.